Oh yeah, the AE4 has been patched. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? My name is HollowPoiint and thank you guys so much for tuning back. Today we're gonna be bringing you guys another best class setup, and today's class setup is going to revolve itself around the AE4. Now, there's been 4 weapons which have been patched recently in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. One of them was the AE4. Yesterday I covered the HBR-A3, so if you guys haven't checked that out, make sure to do so. The link will be down in the description. Now, before we get into the class setup for this weapon, I just want to notify you guys of a few patches that have been made to this weapon. The first one is one that a lot of you guys might not even noticed. It's the iron sights. Before, when this weapon came out, the iron sights, you know, it has a horizontal one, which are the ones on the side, and then the foresight, which is the one right smack in the middle. That one was a little bit lower than it is now, so it made it a bit difficult to aim with these iron sights. Now, what happened was that they actually upped it up a little bit as far as the height goes, so it's now right smack in the middle. Believe it or not, guys, this changes a lot of things. This could change the amount of attachments you use for this weapon, therefore you can use other things for your class setups. This can change the varieties of attachments that you put on your weapon, and overall it just makes everything a whole lot better. Now, another thing that got patched in the AE4 is one that I was really hoping for to get patched, and that is the amount of time that it takes to overheat with this weapon. The amount of shots that it takes to overheat. Before, it was 16 shots and boom, your weapon would overheat. If you put the heatsink, it was 22 shots and then boom, your weapon would overheat. Now, without the heatsink, it overheats at 22 shots. I'm not quite sure how much it is with the heatsink. I haven't tested it out. I haven't found out any information about that. But that is really great news. This weapon was incredibly inconsistent, just because, you know, sometimes it happens to everybody. You shoot too much, you don't get the kill, your weapon overheats extremely quickly, then you have to go for cover, reload the weapon, and in that transition you could just get killed, and then boom, there goes your streak or whatever it is you're trying to do with this class setup. So that has been changed now. There really is no need for a heatsink anymore, but if you guys want to equip that, that's even better for you guys. But just want to let you guys know that that makes this weapon a whole lot better. And finally, another thing that I know got patched because it's all over the place, it's the recoil. Man, the recoil in this weapon was horrible back then. Like, it was really difficult to control. Sometimes you just had to put on the red dot sight because it just made things a whole lot easier. Now that has been reduced drastically. This weapon's recoil, it is so manageable now, and especially with the moderate rate of fire, now it makes everything a whole lot easier. Alright, so now on screen you guys can take a quick look at what it is that I consider my favorite or my best class setup for this weapon after the patch. Obviously, you guys can take some of these things as far as perks, attachments, swap them out, put the ones that you like. But today I'm going to be giving you guys an overview of what it is that works best for me. Maybe you guys like the entire class setup, maybe you guys like it but you have to change a few things. It's all good. You guys can just let me know down in the comment section below what it is that you did to change it, or if you guys kept it as is. Alright, so now getting into the attachments for this weapon, we have the foregrip, the quick draw grip, and stock. Even though the recoil for this weapon has been reduced drastically, I still like to run my foregrip on it because it always reassures me that I'm going to have the best aim possible. And for me, you know, it is all personal preference, but for me it is very important that I have the best aim as I possibly can, because you never know when that one bullet will make a difference in a gunfight. So moving down here, we have the quick draw grip. This weapon's fire rate is not the best, especially for this variant that I'm using, the regular AE4. The fire rate is not the best, even though it's actually a little bit quicker than the Widowmaker. It's still not the fastest, so I definitely like to run quick draw grip on this weapon, just because it'll reassure me that I'm going to have at least a chance of having the first few bullets on the enemy teammates. Believe it or not, that will make a big difference in your gunfights, guys. Try it out and you guys will see for yourselves. And then finally, we have stock. Grind out this weapon until you get stock. You guys will see in some of the clips I actually do some hip firing. It's because I was grinding out till I got stock, so I can be able to equip it on this weapon. I did have it before, but since I prestige in this account, you know, you have to start from scratch. But once you guys get stock on this weapon, is a whole different ball game. The weapon is okay without stock, but I promise once you put on that stock, it just makes everything so much easier to aim, dodge bullets, you know, just become a harder target to hit. It just makes everything a whole lot easier for you guys, and you will enjoy the class setup overall a whole lot better. Alright, and now moving down into the secondary, there is no secondary attachment as well. We have perk 3 greed and primary gunfighter. As far as for the perk 1 slots goes, we only have one perk today, and that is low profile. And then it says obviously invisible to UAVs, tracking rounds, and exo ping. Do not give away free kills. In other words, don't die when you don't need to die. So make sure you guys are running low profile. It will save your life a lot of the times, and it will make your game a lot more enjoyable. Alright, and now moving down into the second perk here, we have peripherals, and a lot of you guys may not even take this perk that serious. Even though it does increase your minimap coverage, believe it or not, this helps you guys out so much. It helps you plan, you know, your next move. It helps you have a better vision of where it is that your enemies are exactly, and it's gonna help you guys survive a whole lot more times, you know, if you guys have this perk as opposed to you not having it. Not only does it do that for you, but it does take out the enemies without displaying their death. You might be like, okay, but we don't even have a silencer. You can't even equip a silencer on the AE4. That's okay, but you guys got to understand that with this actual exo movements going on in this game, you can get a kill at a certain location, and then in 3-4 seconds you could be somewhere completely different, and then you still have a general idea of what it is that's going on the minimap, and that can just help you guys out tremendously just to survive longer and just basically have a better idea of what it is that you're going to do next. So make sure you guys try out peripherals with this class setup. It is probably the only recommended perk as far as second perks goes. Unless you're sniping, then you should definitely go for fast hands or something like that. Alright, and now finally getting into the perk 3 slots, this is where it gets important. We have blast suppressor and toughness. Let's start off with blast suppressor. Like I said yesterday, invisible on the minimap when performing exo moves. I don't care, just run this class setup with this perk. This perk will allow you to survive a lot longer. You will have a better gameplay overall. You will find yourself surviving longer because you won't display your location whenever it is that you're using your exo moves. And like I always say, you're going to be using that exo move around 90% of the time. So guys, please run blast suppressor if you want to stay alive longer and get more kills. And then the really important one is toughness. There always is a big debate between toughness and scavenger. Toughness, scavenger. Toughness, scavenger. For this class setup, I would totally recommend toughness. Screw scavenger, you don't need it. You're not going to run out of bullets ever. The only thing that you have to worry about when using the AE4 is basically worry about how long you're holding that trigger. Worry about how long you're shooting an enemy or just enemies in general before your weapon overheats. Aside from that, if you can, you know, get used to that actual overheat time and kind of time it perfectly, then there is no reason for you guys to even have scavenger. Even if your weapon overheats, scavenger is not going to do you any good because you're not going to need it. This weapon does not run on bullets. So therefore, there is no necessity for you guys to have scavenger. So screw scavenger for this class setup and run toughness. It'll allow you to flinch less when shooting, even though the recoil has been reduced a little bit. You know, for some of you guys, the recoil may still be a little bouncy. And when you guys are going on those one-on-one gunfights, if you guys get shot, your flinch is going to go all the way up. And if you do not have toughness, it's going to make a difference. I know toughness is not as important in this game as it was in previous CODs, but it is still important. And remember, every little bit counts in Call of Duty because every bullet in Call of Duty counts. Alright, and now moving into the exo abilities, I always run the same one, and I'll tell you why. Like I always say, you don't have to spend time calling it in. Your guy does not have to tap his wrist to call in a dumb exo ability, which I definitely think that's bogus, but whatever. Another thing, it does last pretty long. A lot of the exo abilities here do not last that long. The exo overclock has a pretty good life. So it's definitely recommended. And if you guys want to rust a little bit, you guys can put it on. You know, you guys do not have on lightweight, so you guys can use this perk whenever it is that you want to use a little bit of speed towards your advantage, or whenever it is that you guys are trying to get to an enemy spawn or run away from an enemy spawn or just trying to get for cover. Extra overclock will do wonders. It can help you out so many damn times that it is basically, for me, it is a necessity. If I don't use extra overclock, I feel completely naked. So try it out if you guys haven't. If you guys already do, keep it on. It is probably one of the best ones. I definitely recommend it. Now moving on into the score streaks here, we have the UAV and the system hack. UAV, you already know it. I love the UAV. It is extremely useful in this game. Everybody's going to be running UAVs, so why shouldn't you, right? That's all I have to say. Simply, it's going to give you a good location of where it is that the enemy teammates are. And heck, if you guys have a UAV on, it'll give you UAV assist whenever your teammates get kills. And therefore, that'll help you get the system hack a lot quicker. And a lot of people don't know, but the system hack does count as a amplify perk. In other words, if there's people around you and their system hacked, the enemy teammates, you guys can hear them. You guys can actually hear exactly where it is that they're at. Even if they're hiding, even if they're corner camping, if they're not moving, you guys will still hear them. So that actually comes towards your advantage. Whether you guys are trying to go on a streak, it'll help you a lot. And it's just going to make everything a whole lot harder on your enemy teammates, just because, you know, their screen is damaged. They're really noisy. They can't see the minimap. So it's definitely something that you guys should consider whenever, you know, creating class setup. So that's going to conclude my best class setup for the brand new AE4 after its patch. If you guys did use this class setup exactly as you guys saw it on screen, let me know in the comment section below. If you guys changed anything, let me know in the comment section below as well. If you guys did enjoy the video, please feel free to drop a thumbs up. It always helps the channel grow, and it allows me and motivates me to do more videos for you guys. And if you guys are new to the channel and do enjoy the content, I do post daily videos, and I would definitely love to have you guys here once again. My name is HollowPoiint, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Woo. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys haven't checked out any of the previous videos, make sure to click the annotation on screen, and I'll see you guys on the next video.